विष्णुनुते भगवति हेशिति कण्ठकुटुम्बिनि भूरि कुटुम्बिनि भूरि कृते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते सुरवरवर्षिणि दुर्धरदर्शिनि दुर्मुखमर्षिणि हर्षरते त्रिभुवनपोषिणि शङ्करतोषिणि किल्बिषमोषिणि घोषरते धनुजनि रोषिणि दितिसुतरोषिणि दुर्मथतोषिणि सिन्धुसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते
Hi guys, thank you for joining the live stream. Let us know if the audio is coming fine and all. And today we have with us a professor of humanities from the beautiful state of Assam. So thank you for joining us, Professor Probashi.
It's a pleasure, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, go on.
yeah, no, it's fine. That's
So-
what I wanted to say.
We have a very interesting discussion today because he's a Bengali who lives in Assam. So he can give a rundown and let's say updates and overall views from a very fresh and different perspectives on both Assam as well as Bengal. So first, Professor, I want to find out from you, what has been life as a Bengali like in Assam growing up?
Well, it has certainly been very good, and apart from a couple of problematic areas here and there, apart from a few problematic situations here and there, I must say that life in Assam has been pretty, easy compared to what Bengalis have had to face outside Bengal, even inside Bengal. So I think for us, people who are Bengali in origin, living inside of the state of Assam, though the general perception is that we are living here as as second-class citizens, etc. That's the general perception that people want to build. It's a political gimmick. But
Okay.
yes, this is true that there is racism. There is racism to an extent where it has turned into. Previously, it used to be a love-hate relationship. Now it has turned into a completely hate-filled relationship from the side of the Bengalis, especially. And I won't say that the Assamese are also free from it. They also have their share of the racism part, but just as there is racism against Bengalis, there is a lot of racism in Bengalis here as well. Bengalis, people think
what do
that
you mean?
Bengalis.
What do you mean when you say that Bengalis have also upped the ante? How are they being racist? Are they taking out campaigns?
Bengalis are very racist.
Okay.
Show me a single Bengali who is not a racist.
No, I mean in Assam. How has the
In
thing?
Assam as well. In Assam,
Right.
in West Bengal, in Tripura, in Meghalaya, in Mizoram, Manipur, wherever Bengalis have been, we have been almost in all. We have stayed. We have had homesteads, and generations have lived here all across the Northeast for centuries, actually.
Hmm.
It's not just because of the partition of India that we came here,
Hmm.
or I mean, it's not because all Bengalis are refugees. People
Hmm.
generally think all Bengalis are refugees here.
Hmm.
Uh, I think there's somebody who's made a comment.
Yeah.
What did it say?
That the professor must be born after 1982 Andolan. That's why life has been good for him in Assam.
Oh, no, 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 no. I am, yes, the person who has said this definitely is right, at least partially, for saying that I was born after the 1982 Andolan. That's why life has been
Okay.
good for me. That's true.
Hmm.
That's extremely true. Whatever he has said is extremely true.
Hmm.
But it's not as if the Bengalis are free from having from doing their part of the shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah.
Okay. Another comment says that my uncle used to say many Bengalis stay aloof from native culture, which creates tension. Dada, could you ask him about this?
Yes, that's true. That's
Okay.
very much true. And
Hmm.
Bengalis are racist in the way they call themselves communists. They call themselves, socialists. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So they call themselves socialists. They will
Hmm.
say, ha, secular, but no, this, do that. And
Right.
they are the ones who will make fun of native culture. They
Hmm.
are the ones who will make fun for you, who will mock the Assamese milieu.
Hmm.
They are the ones who will have crude jokes up their sleeves. And
Hmm.
whenever five Bengalis gather together in order to do some sort of something,
Hmm.
it is only the conversation generally veers around how the community is being affected by
Hmm.
external forces, but nobody
Hmm.
sees the rot that has set inside of the community
Hmm.
itself.
Right.
Because you see, what is us? I mean, I am a Bengali who lives in Assam, was born in Assam, brought up in Assam. My father was born here. My grandfather was born here. My great grandfather was born here.
Hmm.
And my great great grandfather came here to this particular place where my family is rooted in and around the 1800 for 1800 for 40s 45
I see.
I'm not sure about the exact date,
Hmm.
but that is because this part used to be Bengal also at that point
Yeah.
of time,
Yeah.
East Bengal, you know.
Yeah.
And mm, much of
So
much of much much of what is Assam now
yeah.
was previously part of East Bengal.
Yeah.
And then the Radcliffe Award happened, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
everything, etc., etc. Yeah.
Do you have you faced racism after becoming a professor as well, like from students and stuff?
See, I have not faced racism personally. I
Okay.
have personally not faced any racism. I have
Hmm.
seen it happen to others around me. I have seen it happen to our community in
In what
general.
ways? Like casual banter, taunts like that, or like serious stuff that could escalate
No,
into
no,
a
no, no,
fist fight?
no, 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 no. Casual banter. No, not casual banter.
Okay.
The racism is directed specifically after a certain sort of situation has comes to the fore. Something that is peculiar to Bengalis,
Hmm.
that
Right.
isolated sort of self isolation, and keeping aloof from what this other person said, keeping
Hmm.
themselves aloof from native culture, laughing at them and thinking as if they're
I see.
always anybody who's not a Bengali is inferior to us in some way because we have Rabindranath Thakur.
Hmm.
So that's one thing. That's
Hmm.
one thing. Here I will add a small afternote. Tagore
Hmm.
himself was very fond of the general culture, the Bengali culture, as well as the mixing, the matching,
Hmm.
and the uh, other surrounding cultures in the Northeast,
Hmm.
and he's written about it, and
Hmm.
this also enough legend about Tagore inside of northeast India, because he visited quite a few parts,
Yeah. Yeah.
Shillong especially, and he himself was very fond of. In fact, what is now known as Rabindrik Nritya
Yeah.
is basically Manipuri Nritya taken
Yeah.
from Manipur and brought
Yes.
to Vishwabharati and converted into
Yeah.
that thing Ravindrik Nritya. There is nothing called Ravindrik Nritya. It is
Hmm.
basically Angik Nritya, which happens almost in all forms of Indian dance.
Mm. Yeah,
Angik
and
Nritya.
Vishwabharati has forever had countless students from Myanmar also. Myanmar and Manipur used to be a very famous spot for
I don't know about a lot about Myanmar, because
Mm.
Myanmar, after the junta took over, Myanmar
Yeah, yeah. Not anymore.
has been a
Yeah.
problem, only a problem. It has not given anything else except for
Yeah.
a few good movies here and there.
Mm. Yeah.
But yes, Manipur has had a very significant role to
Mm.
play in what is known as modern Bengali culture,
Mm.
and Bengalis don't speak about it.
Mm.
We have I have heard this happen. I've heard
Mm.
this in my own family, where people used to taunt Manipuri
I see.
uh, people for being inferior in some way. Some of it was very vulgar, and
Mm.
it's there even now. Okay,
Mm.
like vulgar rhymes.
Mm. Now, another
Manipuri Dadi, Manipuri
that
Dadi, Chira Khaiya dash dash dash,
I
beep
see.
beep 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 beep. Chiranai Ghore, Hidal Khaiya More, that sort of thing. So
I see.
I'm saying this because I'm saying this off the record, obviously. But it is true that there is racism. There's
Mm.
very violent racism in the Northeast against Bengalis. At the same
Mm.
time, Bengalis also are equally racist. Now the question will arise: it must be a defense mechanism. Sorry, no, that is not how things happen.
Mm.
How things happened historically. If you go to
Yeah.
Shillong, most of the families. In fact, I was having a conversation this evening with a few of my friends who are working in a distinct area all across the Northeast. We have a small
Mm.
group of, you know, WhatsApp group where we talk about this.
Mm.
Most of the Sangmas and Conrad Sangma, who is the chief minister of Meghalaya,
Mm.
he is partially Bengali.
I see.
Mukul Sangma,
No.
who was previously the chief minister of Meghalaya before
Okay.
Conrad became the chief minister. His
Okay.
father's name was Binoy Bhushan something.
Okay.
Binoy Bhushan H. Madak.
Acha.
And his grandfather was a Bengali.
I see.
A Bengali Hindu, by the way.
I
His
see.
mother, Mukul Sangma's mother's name was Roshanara Begum. She was a
Okay.
Bangladesh.
I see.
And much of Shillong, what is now Shillong,
Mm.
Shillong is considered to be a very happy, hip and happening, used to be a very hip and happening place at one
Mm.
point of time.
Mm.
Even now, Shillong, Nagaland, people generally consider these as destinations for rock star lifestyle,
Mm.
biking, motorbiking, blah.
Yeah.
All of it is a facade anyway for drug cartels,
Mm.
uh, and illegal smuggling.
Mm.
Uh,
Now,
so
now
Shillong,
another comment we have on the screen, if you can see it. He's saying, I have
I
faced a lot
can't
of
actually.
racism, like Kala Bongali, Tahoti non-local. Dada, can you ask him about this?
In Shillong, my cousins
Mm.
who have lived in Shillong, they have faced this, being called the khar, get out from our place. Oh, get out from. This is Shillong is for Khasis, not for Bengalis.
Mm.
Khasi by blood, you know, etc., etc. So
Mm.
there's this new narrative that's being pushed into the. Not a new narrative. This has been around for the last 10 to 15 years, 20 years, that all the Bengalis are going to take over all our lands, etc., etc., etc. Which
Yeah.
is why there was this thing that you cannot buy, Bengalis cannot buy landed property inside of certain parts of Meghalaya, except for certain parts of Meghalaya. They could buy lands only in the European quarter, not in the native quarter.
Hmm.
So this was there. This was very much there. And it's not as if we faced this only from Assamese people. We have faced this from the Khasis, we have faced this from the Garos, Jaintiyas,
Right.
Manipuris, Misos, uh,
Hmm.
the almost every other tribe which has some sort of political influence over the region, over a particular region. They have been hostile towards Bengali Hindus, mind you, towards
Hmm.
Bengali Hindus.
Hmm. Right. And has
They have been hostile towards Muslims as well, Bengali Muslims as well, but they have been hostile towards them only as Muslims,
hmm.
not as Bengali Muslims. Because the truth is that here they won't say it,
Hmm.
but very few people, unless they're remarkably educated, well educated, unless their orientation is not towards the Wahhabi Salafi sort of mindset, they
Yeah.
will rarely consider themselves Bengalis, Musalman,
Right. Right.
Momin,
Right. Right.
and
Now,
it's even more.
yeah,
Yeah,
is Himanta Biswa Sharma a Bengali?
no, he isn't.
Okay. He is pure Assamese on both sides of his
There is
parentage.
nothing called pure Assamese.
I mean, pure
Just as
Ahomia.
no, there is nothing called pure Ahomia. There is
I see.
nothing called pure Assamese. And I would like to say this to Manonia, the Chief Minister of West Bengal,
Hmm.
Manonia Mamata Bandyopadhyay, that there
Hmm.
is nothing called pure Bengali.
Yeah.
She
Now,
herself, her ancestors,
yeah.
she herself is not a Bengali.
Kanno Kubjo.
She is a Kannukupjiyo Brahmin. She
Yeah.
comes from a and because we know that she has not been married,
Yeah.
therefore she is still part of her father's family. She is not
Yeah.
Bengali. She
Yeah.
came to here Bengal. Her family came to Bengal after Mahaprabhu.
Hmm.
Same to Gorgo Chatterjee, or whatever his
Yeah.
name is. What's his name?
Yeah. Chatterjee. Gorgo
What's
Chatterjee.
that? That the Bangla Pokho fellow. What's his
Yeah.
Gorgo Chatterjee?
Yeah.
I am used to refer to him as Gorgon Chatterjee,
Oh.
reference to the Medusa and the Gorgon head, etc., etc. So,
Yeah.
because he looks a tad bit like that, you know,
Hmm.
thinks he's very Bengali. He isn't. He's just
Yeah.
a pawn there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wait. Okay. Someone is asking kahan se he could not understand. Okay. Meera Tripathi. The point is that she's from Kanauj. Okay. Kanauji Brahmins are usually all the Bengali Brahmins are from Kanauj. They came here about 300,
not all
400
Bengali
years.
Brahmins.
Okay.
Not all Bengali.
Five
Some
Gotras,
Bengali
right?
Brahmins. No, there are basically there are three trends of Bengal.
Okay.
People in Bengal: Mithila,
Hmm.
Kannakupjo, and
Hmm.
Gauda Saraswat. So
Hmm.
three trends
Right.
of people have migrated to Bengal
Hmm.
from Kannauj, from Mithila, as in where near Nepal,
Hmm.
upper northern UP, and
Hmm.
Kerala and Andhra Pradesh.
Hmm.
So
Right.
all the Brahmins in Bengal are basically not Bengalis.
Hmm. Right.
None of the
Now,
Brahmins of Bengal are Bengalis.
what I've always wondered about Assam is that I don't know too many Assamese people. I have some relatives. I've been to Bongaigaon once or twice and Guwahati, Shillong, those places. Shillong is obviously not in Assam, but and I dated an Assamese girl in
Shillong
Kolkata
used
once.
to be in
Who's
Assam at one point of time.
oh, I see. So
Yeah.
the Assamese girl I dated her, she was dating me, but her elder sister wanted her to not date me. She wanted her younger sister to date only Assamese people, or even though she was living in Calcutta. So
They
my question
have
is
this notion
why?
that they have. I'll sort of break in here. They
Yeah.
have this notion that Bengali men are very abusive, which is a tad
Hmm.
bit true. Which is a tad bit
Okay.
true. I have seen this happen in very close to my own eye. My colleague, she was married to a Bengali man, and
Hmm.
she's not Bengali. She's from a different tribe. She's from
Okay.
a tribe, and in
Okay.
spite of her family's instructions and wishes, she went against
Hmm.
all of them, and she married this guy. And this guy ended up torturing her a lot, so much so that she eventually had a mild stroke and lost her speech for some months, etc.
Okay.
So there's this
No,
fear, huh?
that can be found in every nook and cranny of India.
Ah,
So
but
that's
Bengali men are a bit of a uh, bother.
I see.
I can
I
I
don't
count myself I count myself and you inside that bracket as well.
absolutely not. So what
You're
I've
not.
always wondered about Assam is that why did they have for always that sometimes the hatred for Bengalis increase, sometimes it decreases. But why have they never tackled the tribal problem when their Ohmia kids have been beaten to death more than once? Of course, most recent one being the Nilutpal guy and his friend getting beaten to death by Karbi tribes. Why have they never the tribes never faced any wrath of Ohmia people?
Because, well, the tribes live a very closed, community. Their community has a very close knit um, existence, which Bengalis don't have. Bengalis are fond of saying, "Ha, Amar Bangla." At the
Yeah.
same time, they'll go back home and they will just not have anything good to say about the
Hmm.
person who was standing next to them in the Michil.
Hmm.
So I think it's because of the tribal clannish behavior that exists that
Hmm.
if somebody gets hurt from one tribe, if someone gets if someone from one tribe gets hurt at some part of the state, then the
Hmm.
whole ecosystem comes into existence, and
I see.
there's a defensive wall put
Hmm.
up. So
Right.
I
So the
think it has
support
never
system is
been.
there.
Yes.
Hmm.
But what happened between what this other gentleman made reference to previously at 1982,
Hmm.
that was politically motivated by the Congress.
Okay.
That was entirely the brainchild of the Congress.
Hmm. I
It was
see.
created in order to keep Bengalis in tow, to create a specific vote bank,
Hmm.
and that is still working even now. Previously, it
Hmm.
was Indira Gandhi who took the lead. Now
I
it
see.
is Mamata Banerjee who has taken the lead,
Hmm.
and she and her party are trying to sow this Bengali non-Bengali thing all across the northeast. At the same time, she is busy, trying to woo the tribal parts of Meghalaya with her renditions of those tribal songs. What she did on
I
stage,
see.
Kaku, etc.
I see.
You've seen that meme, right?
No.
Where she's doing this
Oh,
kaku
yeah, 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 yeah.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's basically big. Mamata Banerjee doing a very khasi sort of a thing in Meghalaya,
Hmm.
and well, we laughed at her
Hmm.
again, obviously.
This is an interesting accusation that you brought up. In what ways Mamata Banerjee or Trinamool Congress trying to, let's say, trigger Bengali versus non-Bengali tensions in the Northeast?
They have sort of reached out to all the communists for hire.
Hmm.
You know very well that there is only one kind of a communist in India. That's
Hmm.
communists for hire. COH I call them.
But
Uh,
what are the numbers in the Northeast?
Huge.
I see.
Every university, every college, every gaon panchayat, every single school, every single LP school has every single department in every single college in every single university
Hmm.
inside of the Northeast
Okay.
has at least a few communists on hire.
Okay. So they are kind of triggering the Bengali chauvinism in the Northeast.
Yes, one of the ex vice chancellors of the university I passed from.
Hmm.
I'm not going into details because I'm
Yeah, yeah,
obviously going to be targeted for this if
yeah,
I say this, which is why
yeah.
I've decided to stay behind the smoke screen.
Hmm.
I've seen this happen. This person is a Bengali Brahmin again.
Hmm.
Okay, and very well networked.
Hmm.
He's a huge favorite among the
Hmm.
so-called Bengali thinkers in Kolkata.
Hmm.
Uh, Gets regularly invited to Boimela, etc.,
Hmm.
as well as in Bangladesh. So
Okay.
it's both places at the same point of time,
Hmm.
and he's been awarded by the TMC at Boimela at Calcutta Book Fair at least a few couple of times.
Hmm.
Uh, he is the one leading the charge inside of this particular place where I'm staying,
Oh,
where I'm from.
I see. I see.
Uh, they will regularly speak against this person will regularly speak against Assamese people, but will have nothing to say about anything at all that happens just 50 kilometers away from here in Bangladesh,
He does that
because
sitting
Assam,
in Assam,
he does that sitting in Assam.
and he doesn't get beaten up and stuff. Who is protecting him?
Well, that's how things are. They will not do anything to you unless you get onto the street and start rowdy behavior, right?
I see.
People are fond of talking about fascism. They
Hmm.
don't look into the mirror. The word
Hmm.
fascist is regularly used by Bengalis all over the place. I think
Yeah.
every Bengali should look into the mirror and try to recognize what a fascist looks like.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's a comment,
that
I think.
that Bengali guy from Assam is asking that ask him about Central Assam like Kamrup district being normal than Upper Assam like Lakhimpur, Jorhat in regards to racism. Is this true?
Well, it varies from place to place.
Hmm.
It varies from place to place, and I have seen people from Upper Assam living very nice, lives with their Assamese neighbors.
Hmm.
But
Now,
people in lower Assam, especially from Karimganj, Hailakandi, they have this very strong anti-Assamese thing going on. Ah,
oh,
how dare he or she? Like something recently happened, there was this school in a town in the lower Assam. It's a
hmm.
Christian convent school, basically. So they
Hmm.
published a Bengali question paper in English, in Roman script.
Okay.
Okay, and that triggered a huge sort of response against the Assamese people. Just imagine, it is a private school run by Christian missionaries
Hmm.
where this thing has happened, and
Hmm.
the whole ranting goes against the Assamese for trying to influence this. The truth,
Hmm.
however, is when I was a child,
Hmm.
I studied in a Roman Catholic convent as well. We were not
Hmm.
allowed to speak in Bengali inside of the school.
Hmm.
We were told that Bengali is a dirty language.
Okay.
Hindus are dirty for worshipping so many gods.
You were told this in school.
Yes,
Okay.
I was told this in school, not just once, not just
Hmm.
twice. I was almost on the point of being suspended from school,
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
suspended really, rusticated from school for drawing uh, an image of Ma Kali behind my physics notebook.
So you faced more racism in your convent school than from Assamese Ohomia people,
Yes,
basically.
yes, yes. And
I
all these
see.
sisters, so-called sisters, were Malayali converts, rice-back
I
converts.
see.
Yeah, I don't have a problem calling them rice-back converts because that's what they are.
I see.
And the sort of intense hatred I faced,
Yeah.
intense. Now
Yeah.
I have become a sort of a persona non grata amongst many of my friends from school for saying this out aloud.
Hmm.
But the point is that the sort of sheer hatred, Hindu misia, that we faced in school,
Hmm.
okay, was, I mean, compared to that, the racism as Bengalis from Assamese people, I think
Hmm.
no. Or racism. I mean, I have been to Shillong, and I have a huge friend circle in Shillong.
Hmm.
Christians, non-Christians, Khasi,
Hmm.
Garo, Jaintia. the Nepali, Punjabi, Bihari,
Hmm.
Bengali,
Yeah.
huge circle, more than I
Hmm.
have in my own personal hometown. And I
Hmm.
have not faced any racism from them.
Hmm.
I have not faced any racism from them. In fact, they were very clear and very respectful of my lifestyle, my identity
Hmm.
as a Bengali, my
Hmm.
identity as a Hindu. If there
Hmm.
was, if it was a get together, then they would make sure that there is nothing on the menu that would, sort of tamper with my family's religious views.
Hmm.
They were very respectful. But political maneuvering and
Hmm.
uh, to some extent Bengali snobbery.
Hmm. Right. Professor, would you say that you have you faced this kind of anti-Hindu behavior from Anglo-Indians as well, or has it come from only converts?
I have you have to qualify what you mean by Anglo-Indians. Do you also include Armenians in them?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Calcutta, as long as you are going to church,
Hmm.
as long as you are going to Christmas parties and singing with them and drinking alcohol with them
Hmm.
and having fun and
Hmm.
going their way, it's
Hmm.
fine.
Hmm.
The moment you start behaving like a Hindu, you get into their wrong books, and then they will slowly isolate you, and then they will leave you aside.
Hmm.
So yes, I have not faced racism directly, but I have
Hmm.
seen how it works, how this racism operates inside of Calcutta.
Hmm.
Because I stayed there myself for 2 years after my graduation,
Hmm.
and I studied there, and I have seen this
Right.
behavior. Yeah, it's there.
Right.
And if
I
there's
also
somebody,
studied. Yeah. Yeah. Gone.
yeah, if there's somebody who says that no, no, we have not faced this, I think that's you're very lucky.
Hmm.
I think you're very lucky. I think you did not behave like a Hindu, maybe.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I am a citizen of India. I have the rights to behave the way I
Hmm.
want to behave,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I'm wondering if it is a Notun Musalman পাঁচবার নামাজ পড়ে kind of a situation, because I may not have behaved very Hindu, but I had Bihari friends who were as Hindu as possible, and we had always great relationships with the Anglo-Indians in the school I studied in. I did not know too many Nepali. Yeah, even the Nepali Christians were pretty good with us, and the Anglo-Indians. I'm still friends with countless Anglo-Indians and Nepali Christians, but I don't know any South Indian Christians, so maybe that might be a different issue.
Try behaving like a proper idol worshipping Hindu. The moment you do that, you'll see how they sidle away from you.
You mean wearing the
I
symbols and
told,
stuff?
haha.
You mean wearing the symbols?
Why wearing just symbols? I mean, you ask them to come to a puja at your place.
Hmm. Let's see.
The point is
Uh,
that we don't. I mean, we in Bengal, Hindus have stopped behaving like Hindus. There isn't a
yeah.
single Bengali Hindu from our generation alive. I mean, all those Jai Shri Rams out there on Facebook, I think
Hmm.
they're all humbugs, basically.
Hmm. Now, what I'm wondering is, I saw some big campaign or big political procession and speech that Himanta Biswa Sharma did recently. I think a few months before the elections, in the Karbi area, Karbi Anglong area.
Mm.
So, has Himanta Biswa Sharma actively tried to integrate all the people of Assam in some specific ways, or will you still get beaten to death if you go to Karbi Anglong in the evening
No,
and
I
live
will
there?
not get beaten to death if I go to Kokrajhar as well right now, because the
Hmm.
security situation is like that.
Hmm.
Assam is far safer than West Bengal at this point of time.
Hmm. So no, but remember
I
how
have,
Nilotpal and Abhijit
I
got
will,
beaten to death for absolutely no reason.
I will register this on public record that I have not
Hmm.
voted for the BJP.
Okay.
Okay. In spite of
Hmm.
that, I will say that
Yeah.
uh, the Congress or similar other parties should not come back to power in the Northeast for at least the
Hmm.
next 20 years.
Hmm.
Because if they do,
Hmm.
then within 5 years, the Northeast will be lost to militancy as it was for the last,
Yeah.
before 2014.
Yeah. And they will happily apply AFSPA as well. They don't have any problems. Yeah. Has Himanta Biswa Sharma done any social cohesion and integration
He has.
programs?
He
Okay.
has. He has tried his level best.
Hmm.
I'm not going into details.
Yeah, of course.
I will tell you this much, that I'm privy to some of the meetings he has had,
Okay.
and I was present in some of the meetings.
Hmm.
And he has extended an olive branch on behalf of the Assamese people
Hmm.
over and over again. But the
Hmm.
Bengalis in Lower Assam have rejected it over and over again,
Oh, I
especially
see.
the middle class Bengali.
Okay. And what about his outreach to the Karbi tribes, or let's say other Indians as well? The
Very much
Marwaris and
so,
Biharis.
very much so. Marwaris, I
How
don't
have
know.
they responded?
Marwaris, I don't have any idea about, because they
Okay.
are generally a very secretive community.
Okay.
They are generally a very secretive community. What they will do, what they will not do, is not something that they will discuss openly.
Okay.
As it is, they are very, very strongly dedicated to their community,
Okay.
networking.
Hmm.
So no Bengali can break it. Sorry, not possible.
Okay. And what about the response from the Karbi tribe?
It has been good.
I see.
Nobody wants to live in constant warfare and constantly looking over their shoulders to
Hmm.
see if somebody is going to attack them with a knife and leave them dead
Hmm.
on by the roadside.
Hmm.
So the point is that violence is not just one person's problem. It's everybody's problem. If the Bengali is being targeted,
Hmm.
then the Bengali should understand that there must be some reasons. Except for in 1961, when 1961 happened,
Hmm.
I think you're aware about the Unisheme Bhasha Andolan.
Yeah.
That was sheerly created by the Congress.
Hmm.
Nehru was in Guwahati the day the firing happened.
Hmm.
Such a
Yeah.
great prime minister we have had.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the biggest prime minister India has ever had. I don't know about
Hmm.
big and small, but I'm sure he's the most experienced prime minister. Big or
Hmm.
small, whatever you say.
Yeah.
Uh, he could have easily prevented it.
Yeah.
He
Uh,
didn't.
we have a counter for you from an audience member. He's asking, what about the queues in Kalighat and Dakshineshwar for? What are they dead Hindus? If you are saying that there are no Hindus in Kolkata left.
In Kalighat and Dakshineshwar, yes, they're dead.
Yeah.
They're zombies.
Why are they in the temple then? Why are they going? Why are they standing in the queues? Why are they
Well,
donating?
Ma Kali loves to live in the crematorium, right?
Hmm.
So obviously there will be dead bodies all around, but that's a joke again. The
Yeah.
point is, merely going to Dakshineshwar and Kalighat does not make you Hindu.
Hmm.
Once a while you go to Kalighat with your girlfriend, you do pranam to Ma there, or you go to Dakshineshwar, you do pranam to Ma there, and then you go and do kuchi kuchi by the Ganga.
Hmm.
You think of it as a date. That's not very.
Yeah.
That's not what religion demands you to do, right? Tell me
But
how many
also,
Hindus fast? How many Bengali Hindus fast during Navaratri?
I don't know.
None.
I see.
How many Hindus fast during Durga Puja? Tell me. This
No idea.
person who has asked me this question, I'll ask
Okay.
him, do you, sir, do you fast during Navratri? You don't.
Hmm.
You eat mangsher jhol and macher kalia. Now you will see Mahua Moitra has said, I come from a land where we offered the wine. No, you don't.
Hmm.
Most of the Durga Pujas that take place all across Calcutta are done in the proper Smarta tradition. There is
Hmm.
no wine and meat served to the goddess Durga.
Hmm.
In Kalighat, for Bamacharis, that is there.
Hmm.
Kalighat Tarapi, that is there. I'm sure
Hmm.
Mahua Moitra is not a Bamachari. In
Hmm.
order to become a Bamachari, one has to live a very, very rigorous lifestyle. It's not as if they get to do it every day.
Hmm. Now again a counter.
ওসব বলে ইয়ে হবে না, কারণ একটা বাঙালি ব্রাহ্মণ ছেলে দেখাও যে ঘাড়ে পইতে নিয়ে নিত্য ত্রিসন্ধ্যা করতে আমাকে দেখ। Oh, I'm sorry. Show me just one Bengali man one Bengali man from your generation or from my generation, if we count ourselves in the same generation, Dirajan, show me one Bengali man
Hmm.
who by habit does
Hmm.
Nitya Sandhya, as befits Hindu,
Hmm.
every day without fail. You will
Now,
not be able to tell me.
yeah, sort of a counter for you again. He's saying that the standard you are applying, then most Hindus in India are not Hindu.
Which is bullshit, basically, whatever this person is saying. He hasn't seen most of India.
Okay.
He should
But
travel more.
what about our generation? Aren't in our generation, let's say the 90s kids, aren't they all non-Hindus in by your standards?
No,
Okay.
because I have seen Hindu men and women from your 90s generation
Hmm.
who are extremely rigorous, extremely educated, at the same time questioning and trying to learn about their faith. I have a friend who is a professor. She's also married to one of your associates, your friend
Okay.
possibly.
Okay. Okay.
And I have seen her grow from. I have known her for quite a few years now, and I've seen her grow from being a very questioning, Hindu to a very confident Hindu,
Hmm.
and I'm very proud
Right.
of her.
Right.
These are the sort of Gargis and Maitreys that Vivekananda had prophesied. That will be born in India.
Right.
There's
Now,
another comment, I think.
yeah, he's agreeing with you, so I wanted to highlight the comment.
Hmm.
So the next question is, now we'll get into politics a little. What's the mystery here? Why does this party called BJP do well in Assam and not at all good in West Bengal? What do you think is going on?
Well, that's because there's an overwhelming lack of proper leadership in West Bengal.
I see.
The West Bengal BJP has no leadership.
I see.
There isn't a single leader what his salt or her salt in the West Bengal BJP.
Okay.
The second thing is the lack of discipline, political discipline. There
Could
is
you
no
elaborate on that?
political discipline. There's no political discipline in the West Bengal BJP. They don't.
In what?
They don't hold. Well, I mean, they don't know what to do. What are they going to talk about? What are they going to tell the people?
Hmm.
They have no ideological compass.
Hmm.
Merely being a Hindu is not enough. You have
Of
to be
course.
a politically aware Hindu. Merely being a Jew is not enough. You have to be a politically aware Jew.
Yeah.
In order to, if I'm talking from the standpoint of Israel,
Hmm.
some of the most orthodox Israeli Jews are against
Yeah.
the state of Israel.
Yeah. Now, this is a common accusation against Bengal BJP, and I don't exactly understand what this means, that there are no great leaders in Bengal. Wouldn't the leader be judged by the results? So if, let's say, BJP did manage 26, 27 seats, wouldn't we suddenly call Shubhendu Adhikari a great leader? How do we judge them before the results?
No,
Okay.
no.
So define a good leader for me. What you see in Himanta
See,
Biswa Sarma and what
leadership.
you don't see
I
in
did
Bengal.
not say leader. I said leadership. I should have. I
Okay.
correct myself if I have not
Okay.
said that.
Okay.
There's no leadership. There's no hierarchy of command. There is no discipline.
Okay.
Okay. There's no discipline, and on top of that, those cadres at the ground level who are doing really hard work, they're not being appreciated. Which you will agree with me, I think, when the left was in power, they did have. I mean, they also fell prey to the same sort of fault later. At the end of their career.
Yeah.
But they at one point of time had very good rapport with the ground, the grassroots level people had good rapport with all the levels of the chain of command. The chain of command is not something that is feudal. The chain of command is something that works like a strategy. It's an army. It's a war. It's a battle. You have to win it.
So, do you think Trinamool does this well, or Trinamool is winning by some other?
Trinamool is winning because of the Muslims. Trinamool is winning because of the Muslims, which is very, very evident in what happened
Hmm.
during the Lok Sabha elections. The Bengal Imam Association, they put up
Yeah,
a
yeah.
letter asking. I mean, has any Bengali uh, uh, religious institution done that?
Hmm. Yeah. Two sannyasis tried doing that a little bit, and they got criticized already anyway, and
No, no,
no vote.
but no, Kartik Maharaj did not do anything of that sort.
Hmm.
I know Kartik Maharaj personally. I have met him. I
Hmm.
had the good opportunity of serving him food
Hmm.
and bhiksha, because they call their food bhiksha, right? They're sannyasis,
Yeah.
so they don't say khabo, they say bhikkha grahan korbo.
Hmm.
I will accept bhiksha.
Okay.
So I had the good fortune of serving him food, and
Hmm.
I spoke to him, and I have spoken to him after the uh, uh, incident happened as well.
Hmm.
He's
Hmm.
nonchalant about it. He doesn't care basically, because
Hmm.
he has not promoted any sort of religious party, or they did not try doing that sort of. They tried to do things for. See, I'll tell you something, Dirajan.
Hmm.
Personally as well, it does not matter for me what party is at power,
Hmm.
as long as the Hindu civilizational ethos is kept alive.
Hmm.
I don't see any other political party doing it except for the BJP to some extent, possibly, and
Yeah.
even they are floundering.
Yeah.
Even they are floundering. They are
We have a
floundering
great
very badly.
we have a great question here from a kind of a, let's say, okay, his identity is not important. He's asking, why is TMC winning in South Kolkata, where there are no Muslims in South Kolkata, according to him at least.
Well, there are no Muslims in South Kolkata, but South Kolkata is the fort of. It is Fort Secular. North Calcutta is Fort William, and South Calcutta is Fort Secular.
Right.
Fort Wannabe, rather. Rename it.
So what is Himanta Biswa Sharma getting right in Assam then, from his perspective, because he has Muslims as well as seculars.
Himanta knows the problems, the lay of the land, right? He knows where the problems are. He knows about the drugs, the syndicates, the cross-border terrorism that is happening, the smuggling that is going on, and
Hmm.
he knows how to correct them.
I see.
And he has been. I mean, it's not possible for things that have gone on for decades
Hmm.
to be just BJP comes to power and everything becomes all right. That's not going to
Yeah, yeah.
happen. Sorry,
Yeah, yeah, of course.
it is
Yeah.
going to take time.
Hmm.
It is
But
going to take time.
yeah, yeah. I'm not even discrediting Himanta Biswa Sharma for not making Assam a holy land right now.
No, no,
But
I don't. I don't care really. See,
yeah.
Himanto is somebody I have worked with.
Hmm.
Shorbanando Sonowal I also have worked with,
Okay.
in my humble capacity as a ground level nationalist.
Right.
Uh, but I have seen that both of them have tried to grow beyond their personal, agendas
Hmm.
and reach out,
Hmm.
because they belong to the BJP. They have reached
Hmm.
out, and
Hmm.
the party has forced them to, reach out beyond their personal agendas,
Hmm.
and it has worked for them. But in
Right.
Bengal, it will not work because, well, Bengal. It has worked in Odisha. Come on.
Yeah. What wondering is that Himanta Biswa Sharma also didn't come into BJP too early, right? So I guess 2 years before Shubhendu Adhikari joined BJP. So
Himanta Biswa Sharma has. There is something that you should know about him. He was forced into the Congress. He was not part of the Congress previously.
yeah, he was Asham
He
Gana
had
Parishad.
had, huh?
Asham Gana Parishad. He was there.
Asham Gana Parishad.
Right.
Asham Gana Parishad, which also has had a very shady sort of a past.
Hmm.
Uh, the point is that I will judge a person not merely basing on the results they have delivered, just like you were saying about it earlier, Shubhendu Adhikari becomes a great leader, etc.
Hmm. Hmm.
I will judge a person basing on the efforts he or she has made.
Hmm.
Not all the successful efforts are worth mentioning. Remember,
Hmm.
there are failures also that deserve to be, you know, appreciated, and just for the sake of the fact that they have there have been very good efforts made. So while I will not say that the governance had in Assam has been all very nice and glorious, and no corruption, etc. There's heavy corruption. There's heavy, everything is, all of it is there, but there is something that was not there previously. There's a olive branch being extended from one part of the region to another part of the region, and where bridges don't exist, even the smallest wooden bridge is a good thing, I
Yeah.
feel.
Anything is better than nothing.
Anything is better than nothing. And as Indians, it is important for us to recognize the fact that we're Indians first, rather than Bengalis or Assamese, or that's we are a composite nation, and our linguistic identities are very important for us. Our social identities, religious identities are very important for us. But in order to survive in the era of the nation state, I think it is important that our
Yeah.
national identities should be, primary over everything else.
Now, we have a great question here. To what extent should Bengali Hindu institutions indulge in politics?
I mean, you cannot. My opinion is that you cannot divorce religion from politics. You
Especially
should
if the
not
other side is
divorce.
doing it.
No, it's not just about that, Nirajan. The idea of political of political machinery operating inside of the nation state itself is a very religious institute. Its origins lie in religious institutionalism. The nation state, I am sure political scientists will agree with me, as well as historians will, that the nation state is basically a product of the West, right?
Yeah.
So the idea of the nation state that speaks against the church is basically a very Protestant idea.
Yes.
Secularism itself is a very Protestant idea.
Yes. Which is why they love Buddhism so much.
Yeah, right. They should see. They should go to Virayathu, Asin Virayathu, and then we will see. They should go to Asin Virayathu. And by the way, I have seen Asin Virayathu in Assam.
Oh my God. When did he come?
Yeah. Well, it's a thing that again I'm saying this off the record.
Okay.
It's a thing because it's not very far from Assam. One, two. He's very concerned about the influx of Rohingyas into India.
I see.
And he travels all over the place, sometimes in disguise, sometimes without informing anybody.
I see.
Yeah, he does actually.
There's a Twitter account by the name of Ashin Virathu, but I thought it's probably not run by him. It's so blatant. It's so loud. Now,
Oh, you
the
cannot
actions that
imagine
you
how
are
loud
saying,
he is.
it seems to be his account only.
You don't know how loud he is, and for the very best,
We have a sort of a follow-up question that he actually asked before the previous one. The same person, he's asking, according to you, the more tribalistic one is towards the Hindu identity, the more Hindu he or she is.
I never said that. Don't put words in my mouth. I said the more disciplined one is. If discipline means tribalism, so be it.
Okay. This is another question. 2024 elections, BJP 39% votes, TMC 46%, Muslim population in Bengal 27%. But my Muslim friend said that it's actually 33%, so only 13% Hindus.
What is this? Is this a question?
No, I guess it's a comment that he wants you to comment on.
Like, what's the comment?
2024 elections, BJP got 39% votes, TMC got 46% votes, Muslim population of Bengal is 27%, but his Muslim friend said that Muslims are actually 33%, so only, I guess, 33%
What
Hindus.
about
I guess
what about the open gates of the border through which Bangladeshis have entered India on election day and voted and gone back to Bangladesh? There are.
Yeah,
I
this
have
is what
videos. I
right.
have videos of these.
What is the
Do
BSF
you
doing
want
there?
me? Well, the BSF is not allowed to go to that part. You remember what happened
Oh,
when the BSF is not allowed to go there.
now for who are we supposed to criticize or curse for this? We have run out of people to hate, even like Modi,
Well,
Amit Shah.
let's curse ourselves first. Let's learn how to curse ourselves first.
Uh, how is that really going to work? Because India is not any some libertarian society, right? Most Indians today only do things after Narendra Modi or the Prime Minister or the Chief Minister says it's a good thing. All of a sudden, when Narendra Modi criticized freebies, everyone suddenly became libertarian. Everyone started speaking out against high taxes and so much reverie. Before that, everyone was a socialist. Before the day Narendra Modi said reverie, the word reverie, everyone was saying that sarkar ko kuch karna chahiye, sarkar ko ye free mein dena chahiye, etc. So even these things have to come from Amit Shah and Narendra Modi. They have to send
No,
BSF there
I am
forcibly.
sorry to say that it is here I will criticize by entire nation.
Yeah.
It is the middle class that is driving this sort of narrative. I am not
Hmm.
hating on anybody, but
Okay.
the point is that perspectives need to change.
Hmm.
Just because you want relief from expenses
Hmm.
doesn't mean that you'll start echoing things. Be honest, bhai. Be honest.
Yeah. Okay. We have this person is from Tripura. He's saying BSF also indulges in process of illegal immigration. Do they? This is sort of a allegation that I keep hearing even in Bengal.
See, I don't know where these allegations are coming from. I
Hmm.
have, as in my capacity as a government servant, I
Hmm.
have worked right on the border,
Okay.
on several occasions. Right on the border, as in, right, I stood next to the barbed wire fence that separates India from Bangladesh and smoked there.
Hmm.
So I think I have been very close to what they are doing. So
Hmm.
whereas there might be isolated cases, I'm not sure about that. We do have traitors in the army, right? And they're being
Yeah.
found out, and you
Yeah.
don't know half of them.
Hmm.
You don't know how many BSF men are thrown off duty every year
I see.
for indulging in misbehavior.
Okay.
There's a court martial in cantonments. The court martial procedure in cantonments in the northeast is very very frequent. It's
I see.
almost weekly.
I see. But this the point that you brought up seems just too much for me to swallow, that BSF is not allowed to go into some places. Who is They have guns, they have the official power, they have the law on their
No, see,
side.
I'll tell you something. The BSF is sent in as, uh, as a tool, right? They are not aware. Of course, they're aware about the terrain, etc. of Bengal,
Hmm.
but uh, you know, I have seen to what extent. I said this to a friend of mine just before the elections that
Hmm.
there were, truckloads of BSF uniforms being carted towards the route to West Bengal that passes through Assam.
Hmm.
I've seen it personally.
Hmm.
Folded, BSF uniforms, guns, not guns really. I mean, holsters, etc.
Hmm.
Being, and these were not army trucks. These were private trucks.
Hmm.
Okay, so
So
the
yeah, yeah, go on.
army also has its own problems.
Okay. So what should the defense minister or the home minister do about this, or should we wait for the society to have awareness amongst itself?
See, it's very difficult to say exactly what one should be doing right now about this.
Because
Because,
one is going to have a quicker solution, right?
no, I don't think there will be a quick solution. We are
It
heading
will be
towards
quicker than
genocide.
societal awareness.
I mean, we are heading towards genocide. That much is sure. We are heading towards genocide. That much is sure. Okay.
Yes, and
And
therefore, my demands from Amit Shah and not the society.
do you think that the defense minister or the home minister has all the independence that they need in order to tackle this sort of situation? They also have other concerns, right? There are
What concerns?
international treaties. There is the Geneva Convention. There are international treaties. There are the defects inside of the Indian federal structure. The primary, secondary lists. Law and order being part of the state list. Uh, this
Now,
thing
which
happened during the elections in West Bengal, where the BSF was being directed to all the wrong parts of the, given
yeah,
misinformation
yeah.
by the state police.
But
They were being
no-go,
fed misinformation by the state police.
yeah, that's to expected. I expect them not to be swallowing the misinformation. But my question is, the so-called no-go zones for the BSF, is that legal? Does any convention actually say that?
No, not really. But the federal structure of our, of India, of the constitution, does put on certain limits to how far the central forces can uh, go into a state territory without express permission from the state, or without the cooperation of that particular state or union territory. When this 550 kilometers with the border thing happened, jurisdictional
Yes.
quarrel happened,
Hmm.
the much respected chief minister of West Bengal said, what? They want to
Hmm.
take over Bengal.
Hmm.
You feed the
And
public with this sort of bullshit,
yeah, of course.
and we expect them to. Achha, now tell me, the BSF is marching into wilderness. They
Hmm.
are not carrying rations. They will
Hmm.
need rations, right?
Yeah.
They'll need rations. They'll need water.
Hmm.
They'll need rations. They're not
Hmm.
carrying that sort of thing. Uh, as not the sort that will help them last there for a previously undefined moment, period of time.
Hmm.
And the entire area is burnt. The road they're traveling on is isolated.
Hmm.
Everybody is, I mean, whoever they're asking for, directions is misleading them.
Hmm.
I have friends in the armed forces. And some of them are right now in Bengal dealing with, all the shit that's happening there as we speak right now. So
Hmm.
I have spoken to them, and they have told me about things that have happened, things that the local populace have done to the BSF. Now the
Hmm.
BSF, let's say there's a company of around 50 army men traveling, okay, in a cohort. They have guns. I'm sure that they have guns loaded and ready to fire.
Hmm.
But you realize that they are not they are not they are not authorized to fire those rifles unless their commanding officer actually issues an order. And that commanding officer is also under pressure from his commanding officer to not fire until he receives orders for the fire. And by the
Yes.
time the orders are conveyed upwards and then downwards, the
Hmm.
situation is over. The booth has been looted.
Hmm.
The election is over. The day is over. That's what happened in most parts of West Bengal.
But the BSF is supposed to handle tough situations. Like they are called security force. We didn't send school
They are
NCC
called
kids.
security forces. They are called there are combat troops and
Yeah.
flash combat troops.
Yeah.
Different categories exist inside of the BSF as well.
Hmm.
They are meant to provide you with security. They're not meant to be your personal army. They're not meant
Yeah.
to take the place of the police, right?
Yeah.
They're not trained to do policing.
Yeah.
They're trained to fight.
Yeah.
They're
So why
trained to
can't they
fight. Now,
fight and
let me
stop
complete what
people?
I was saying.
Yeah.
50 BSF people in a
Hmm.
village in Bengal.
Hmm.
They're patrolling, and
Hmm.
then let's say 100 or 200 women with scythes and sickles in their hand come rushing towards them.
Hmm.
Tell me, will the BSF soldier raise his gun and fire?
No.
And then how is he supposed to save his life?
By fighting hand to hand.
By fighting hand to hand with the women?
Yeah.
Oh. And then what will happen? The moment he fights with the
Controversy.
woman,
What is
controversy.
actually nothing that is going on is better than what we are saying hypothetical should have happened, right?
Yeah, but hypothetically speaking, goes only a little, that much. It
So we
cannot
can't have
extend beyond the party.
women military personnel.
Well, that's the problem. The army hasn't hired enough people since. Don't you know about this? Every year, nearly
So
60,000
whose fault
officers
is
retire.
that? That's not the fault of society not having Hindu awakening, right?
No, that's not. That's certainly not.
Then, for all these situations, who are we supposed to blame? The defense minister or Amit Shah?
Are we supposed to blame anybody?
Because they are the ones answerable and the buck
Well,
stops
yes.
with them.
If that is the case, then yes, we are supposed to blame them. Because the
What
prime
else is the
minister,
option?
the honorable prime minister, when he came to Bengal, he said Bengal will have the what sort of numbers? Largest numbers of
35.
seats for the BJP.
Yeah, 35.
I mean,
First he said
you
35.
why did you do this, man? We trust you. We have faith in you. That doesn't mean you'll abuse our faith like this. When somebody in Arambagh is being assaulted for being a BJP spokesperson or doing work for the BJP, and they call Shubhendu Adhikari, and Shubhendu Adhikari says, "Ami ki bolbo? সংগঠনকে গিয়ে বলবো, what should I say? Go and say this to the party."
Hmm.
I think we should not play the blame game. If we're looking forward, then we need to find strategies on how to move forward. We really
Uh,
need to. I mean, we really need to, and it's not about just Hindus and Muslims. You know, I am not a Muslim hater. I don't hate Muslims. I have a lot of Muslim friends. I have a lot of Muslim uh, uh, students. I'm very fond of many of them. Not in the biblical sense,
yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
but because I don't have that sort of habits. You can ask anybody if you want. So the point is that when the fanatical anti-Hindu or anti-idolater wave sets in, that is the point when things become difficult.
Right. So this is the point that I'm showing. The comment that I'm showing on the screen right now is a point that I've also had since the time I started researching these things. But I'm running out of patience. The border is porous; it can never be sealed completely. The only thing that can be done is to guard that better. What's the way to do this? Just increase the number of personnel, or equip them better, or train them better. What's the way to do it? Or wait for social
I
awakening?
think this is a very important statement. Whoever has said this, thank you very much for saying this. I think border security should be taken with a lot of seriousness by the central government. The union government should understand that we are living in very tough times with the dragon, breathing down our necks, literally, and the sea snake surrounding our feet. And on top of that, a pig at our back, trying to joist its jaws into our face. And a smaller pig on our other side trying to bite my ankles. So I'm saying all of this metaphorically. I hope you understand what I mean.
Yes.
So the point is, the point is that better eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. Thomas Jefferson said this.
Yeah.
So I think this applies very broadly to the border security as well. More personnel needed, more good techniques, technologies, and ground support needed for the central forces. Better conditions of operation, not just living. Okay, better conditions, and on top of that, more visibility for the army.
Right.
Because a nation with a good army culture is always a strong nation. Look at Europe. Look at the United States. Look at Russia. Look at China.
Right.
If you ask me, then I think compulsory drafting into the army is also important. At 18, everybody must go into the army. Train for at least 2 years. Make a man
How
out of
would
you,
you?
a woman out of you. Make you strong.
Yeah, people are burning down buses for Agniveer already, and you are hoping for compulsory recruitment.
I know this Agniveer thing. Yeah, it's defective anyway.
So, how would you rate the center or the defense ministry's role in Bengal versus other states? Give them a number on 10. How good or bad have they been in protecting the border in Bengal?
Six.
Hmm. And
6.
and the rest of the Northeast, all the states that border Assam.
8.
And what about the
7.
Pakistan
No, no,
border?
no. 7, 7, 7.
I see. Just a little better.
Just a little better. Yeah.
And what about Pakistan borders?
4.
I see. So that's a worse situation you're saying.
Yeah. It's going to get even worse.
I see. Wait, we had some great questions. I'll get to that now. BSF. Yeah. So this question was being asked repeatedly. He's saying, Dada, ask him about Muslims being demarcated into locals and foreigners in Assam by Himanta Biswa Sharma. Is this true?
See, much of it is fake news anyway.
I see.
And to speak the truth, Muslims are not foreigners and locals. That is not how anybody has classified them. We're talking about Bangladeshis.
Okay.
We are forgetting the fact that Bangladesh is steadily drowning in the waters of the sea. And climate change has pushed Bangladeshis to an extent where they cannot migrate into Dhaka and other places, so they come to Assam. So they go to Bengal. They go to Myanmar. They won't go to Myanmar now because obviously Myanmar and Manipur are facing the same sort of problem now.
Yeah.
So whatever Himanta has said, he has said this about Bangladeshis.
Okay. This is a great question from Tripura. Mr. Professor, BJP has double engine government in Tripura. Now who is stopping them?
Well, since you're from Tripura, you know what the situation in Tripura also is like, right? The BJP might be in power there, but Tripura also has its own local share of what do you think if BJP should present better welfare scheme than TMC to attract the secular votes? No. I don't think the BJP should go in for that. I don't think the BJP should go in for that. In Tripura, there is a lot of problem again with the tribal and the non-tribal thing. Okay, the Tiprasa thing, which is very pro-Congress, though they were bullied into. Okay,
finish your then you can get into it.
Okay, so what was I saying? I forgot.
Okay, then let's move on from here.
Yeah.
This is a continuation of his previous question.
Could you read it out? I can't really see.
Yeah. I mean, so he's saying that in Tripura, since BJP, even the state government is BJP's, so there, why can't BSF do everything it wants to do?
Well, because I mean, there's a lot of problems. There's optics, for example. The BSF just can't go shooting anybody who gets into the. They can only trap and ask questions and then put them into confinement. They can't just shoot and kill, right? And when they put these people into confinement, what is the next thing that the media is going to do? What is that? Detention camps. I have lived in Assam for so long. I have still not seen a detention camp set up like the ones that Mamata Banerjee and others have been speaking about all over the place. Yes, there are detention units where people are kept when they are found out to be illegally migrated into India. But the point is that we have a sort of a defect in the way the army is employed inside of the state. And the Northeast already has a long history of anti-army movements and that sort of thing. You remember what happened in Manipur, the Assam Rifles thing? That nude protest by the Manipuri women. Yeah. So nobody knows how exactly. I mean, the BSF have to walk on eggshells, literally. They have a gun.
that didn't happen randomly, right? Some army people were actually raping women of those estates, right?
As I said, there are incidents that are happening, but does that mean that you will assign this to the? I mean, there are uh, 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 Hindus who have committed rape. Look at the Nirbhaya case, for example. All the
No,
all
I'm
the
saying that
cul-
since the nude protests did not happen for BSF doing its job, it happened because BSF was doing something other than its job. Therefore, the nude protest can't be used as an excuse to not do its job now. You can't
well,
rape people and then
true.
say now I can't shoot illegal people because you will do nude protest.
Yes, you're right. You're right. That is true. But then
Hmm.
again, the chain of command thing, as I said, it does not work the way it should work.
Hmm.
So we are facing, in spite of the central forces being present, we're facing
Hmm.
this sort of situations. The chain
Hmm.
of command needs to be more stabilized and more result oriented rather than status quo oriented. We
Hmm.
need good people at the helm of affairs,
Yeah.
regular army men at the helm of affairs, and not just,
Yeah.
because the army also has its own share of favoritism like the judiciary has.
Hmm. Right.
I think
Um,
you will not disagree with me with on this.
yeah, that's just human nature. That can't be completely eliminated.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a comment. One of my Bengali friend who is from Assam, he told me that he had seen some Bengalis drinking beer with chakna in Ram Thakur Mandir while making khichuri prasad for Durga. Okay.
See, many people don't know that the drinking of alcohol
Hmm.
is not forbidden to all the all Hindus.
Hmm.
The drinking of alcohol and meat and the eating of
Hmm.
meat is
Yeah.
forbidden, not just it's forbidden to specific communities and groups within the Hindu spectrum. People
Hmm.
who have religious duties to perform.
Hmm.
Okay, so and I think he also doesn't know that there are just like there is there are purificatory rites for the
Yeah.
goats to be sacrificed on Bakri Eid.
Yeah.
There are also purificatory rites in Hinduism for for the alcohol and the chakna.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's a sort of a tonic that I don't see any fault in that. And now,
Okay.
if it is a Brahmin wearing a poite and still drinking, then I'll
Hmm.
say that, well, that's a sin. But
Hmm.
if it is somebody who's not entrusted with the duty of bearing the Yagya Sutra,
Hmm.
then I think it's fine. What's the big deal?
Hmm.
It should not be
Okay.
a problem.
So you lost your train of thought in the previous time we discussed this. So this is
Yeah.
a very interesting question. So could you take this up again?
Oh, could you just I can't see
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
comment
Yeah. Sorry.
clearly.
Do you think BJP should present even more welfare schemes than TMC to attract secular votes?
The BJP will never get secular votes. I'm sorry.
No, but in this case, he means like the normal poor villagers who don't really care for religion, not politics. They
No, but
just like free stuff.
the poor villagers are much more politically aware than the secular urbanites are actually,
But their
and
votes don't show
they
that.
well in Assam it does.
No, but he's talking about Bengal, I guess, because he's
He's
comparing it
talking
with
about Bengal,
TMC.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So he's
the
comparing it with
TMC, it
TMC.
is it is going to be very difficult to pierce Mamata Banerjee's uh, fortifications.
Hmm.
For that, not welfare schemes, but
Hmm.
well thought out strategies need to be implemented by the BJP.
Hmm.
Especially, the biggest thing that the BJP has done incorrectly in Bengal
Hmm.
is to ignore the old bastion of leaders that existed in Bengal and the
Right.
bringing in of new faces. This lady and that actress and this bullshit
Yeah.
and that bullshit. Just throw
Hmm.
them aside. Bring
Hmm.
out young men and women. ठीक
Hmm.
है? Not young men like Hiron,
Hmm. Hmm.
very distasteful man by the way,
Hmm.
and not young men like Nishit Pramanik.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
they would not be my ideal choices if I were sitting on a panel like that. I
Okay.
would.
I don't know much
Uh,
about Nishit Pramanik. I know Hiran's an actor, but what's your problem with Nishit Pramanik? I have no opinion on him.
well, I'm not saying that I have a problem with Nishit Pramanik. I'm only
Okay.
saying that he's incapable.
I see.
Doesn't show his face. Ask his
I
constituency
see.
how many times he has been there.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
Hiron, I have seen as a young man. When I
Hmm.
was in Calcutta studying, he was just a schoolboy.
Okay.
I've seen him in theaters, etc. I've
I
seen
see.
what sort of shit he's capable of. I
I
don't
see.
think he should be in the in this case I would take this person who's really a favorite of mine. Actually, two people, Annamalai and
Hmm.
Pawan Kalyan. Do you know
Hmm.
Pawan Kalyan personally interviewed and held examinations and written tests for his candidates before he gave them their tickets? So I'm serious. Do you know about this?
Is that even possible in Bengal?
Well, it should be made possible.
Will BJP find 42 people to stand in elections if they do that?
Yeah, they'll find more than that. Let the young men and
Okay.
women come forth.
Hmm.
Why select these local gundas and
Yeah. Of course. The
uncharitable
the
people?
the argument in favor of that is that they have the ground level know-how, which is, I guess, proven false these elections.
Who has the ground level know-how?
The so-called gundas and the
Fact.
non-charitable people.
No, no. Ground level. Listen, Nirajan, you are aware that the ground level is the level of the youth. Okay, and the sort of unemployment that has drenched the whole country.
Yeah.
For that, you need to first take the youth into your confidence. You need to get
Yeah.
into the minds of the youth and ask them what they want, and bring them into the main fold. Then you see what happens.
Hmm.
I
Right.
I challenge you, if the BJP is capable of doing this,
Hmm.
Mamata Banerjee's government will fall like a house of cards.
Okay. Now the first problem in this grand hope of yours would be again protecting the cadres, which is never done. Now, is there any way to do that, quote unquote, protect the BJP cadres other than the way Mamata Banerjee herself did it? Just go there and get beaten up yourself.
See, real politics is a very athletic area.
Yeah.
Real politics is a very athletic area,
Hmm.
and I think when you are going into politics, real ground level politics in rural areas, etc., you should be ready and prepared,
Hmm.
because you're out there fighting a war. है ना? You
Hmm.
say this in your speeches. ये एक जंग है, ये के विरुद्ध, corruption के विरुद्ध, this है, that है. Now,
Hmm.
if you are if you are admitting that it's a battle, why aren't you
Yeah.
training your ground level cadre in the same sort of strategies that are needed?
Yeah.
Talk to
And
them, teach them, tell
yeah.
them, give shared information with them. Like
Hmm.
what Kailash Vijayvargiya did and everything, kept everything to themselves and did bullshit all about the place and then left Bengal, and now he's a minister in Madhya Pradesh.
Hmm. Yeah.
वैसा नहीं होना
Uh,
चाहिए. That should not be the case.
right. Uh, Now, why don't we see any senior BJP leader ever in a procession or ever in a melee getting beaten up?
Well, see, all the world's a stage.
All the communists have gotten beaten up even when they were in power. I know communists who got beaten up by the Kolkata police for doing a procession in front of the US embassy in
अरे,
Kolkata in the 80s. Mamata Banerjee
those were
got beaten up. Only
हाँ,
BJP
Mamata
doesn't do it.
Banerjee. I was personally present when she was beaten up once. I saw her getting beaten up. I was a child in school at that point of
I
time,
see.
and we were traveling. I mean, we spent much of our, vacations and
Hmm.
Durga Pujo, post Durga Pujo, vacations in Calcutta.
Hmm.
So and we actually have our family has an extended sort of
Hmm.
presence there.
Hmm.
So we were traveling there, and I think this whole where did she get hit? Where was when was this
Mainly on
happening?
the 21st July and some many other times as well.
On her head. When did she get hit
Yeah,
on her head?
21st July 1990, 5 or 6, I guess.
Sixth, I
I don't
think,
remember.
right?
Right, I guess.
Yeah. So we were, and it was a rainy day. I remember I was out with my mom and my aunt and a couple of cousins, and
Hmm.
we got caught in the in this whole melee that was happening, and I
Right.
saw this thing happening right in front of my eyes.
Hmm.
So I think all of it is sort of stage managed in some way or the other. We
Hmm.
now we don't really have we did not really have the sort of social media attention that is present
Yeah.
now. We did
Yeah.
not have it at that point of time. I think we would have different narratives in hand now if we had that sort of availability then. But I
Hmm.
think all of it is stage managed in some way or the other.
Okay. But we have seen even still photos of the police dragging her by the hair.
Uh, well, yes, I have seen that. I told you I've seen it happen in front of my eyes. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a proverb in Bengali. The GPTA buke shekhano.
Hmm.
You beat up the maid in order to teach the wife.
Hmm. Okay.
So internal politics. That was
Hmm.
also the point of time when this whole thing with Subhash Chakraborty had started. You remember?
No.
আমি বাঙালি আমি ব্রাহ্মণ আমি আগে ব্রাহ্মণ দেন তারপরে
Oh.
কমিউনিস্ট তারপরে
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
there was a lot of dissension in the Communist Party at that point of time. The Communist Party is not free from its foibles, by the way.
Yeah.
It might have good things to say and do. It also has its own wicked ways.
So
I'm
are
not
you
going
saying
into detail.
the phrase that BJP doesn't protect its cadres is an overstatement?
Well, no,
Okay.
it's not an overstatement.
Okay.
By protecting, nobody means that the Shuvendu Adhikari should go and stand in front of the crowd who has come to attack your house.
I think people
By
mean exactly
protection,
that.
by protection, I'm speaking on behalf of all the cadres of West Bengal BJP.
Hmm. Hmm.
By protection, people uh, at my level, they mean obviously the attention of the leaders.
Hmm.
Nobody wants I mean, of course they wouldn't want coming Hiron coming there and standing in front of. They can well defend themselves, but the lack of empathy that the BJP the West Bengal BJP has shown for its cadres, for the civilizational ethos of Bengal, is to blame. Okay, you are doing Ram Navami, Hanuman Jayanti, Ram Mandir things very good, which is all very fine. But you also need to pay attention to the specific problems of that region. You have not
Yeah.
paid any attention to that, which is why the TNC and all other people have had the opportunity of saying that Ram is not of Bengal, Ram is of
No, but that's in the realm of narratives. What's the issue in the directly protecting or not protecting the cadre?
Empathy. You support the cadre, you do good networking. If one unit is attacked, let there be interaction between other the unit nearest to it. And when one unit is in problem or is being harassed by the
Hmm.
opposition's gundas, then let
Hmm.
other units come to it. Let
So that doesn't
them
happen
help.
in BJP.
Has that happened?
I don't know. I'm
Has
not
that happened?
involved in.
No,
I
that
don't
has
know
not
any BJP
happened.
people.
That
I
has
see.
not happened because of, well, there's also Mamta's being the police minister, which is an issue. The police is entirely a tool in the hands of the TMC. I
Yes,
have
but
seen this personally as well. A couple of years back when we were trying to dispose of some properties in Kolkata. I mean, it was becoming difficult meeting the demands of the police. For 7 days continuously, this person from a particular thana in
Hmm.
South Calcutta kept
Hmm.
sending messages about today he wants 12,000, tomorrow he wants 15,000, the other day he wants 25,000. And
Yeah, yeah,
why?
of course.
So that we can sell our properties. And then we decided, okay,
Yeah,
rakho bhai, jab mamta maregi tab karenge.
I see. Okay, here we have an interesting point. Do you agree with this? He's saying Bengal's entire social structure is heavily influenced by political parties, which is not seen in other parts of the country. The people are dependent on political parties for their survival. Great point.
True. I think this is true.
Hmm.
And Bengalis are
Hmm.
very fond of thinking of themselves as politically astute,
Hmm.
which they are not. Not a single Bengali I have seen who is politically astute.
Hmm.
But they would like to talk about, but this time the BJP will win so many seats. This is they become psephologists
Yeah, yeah,
every time an election comes around.
yeah,
It's a favorite topic of on this during discussions. It's true.
yeah.
I mean, Bengal
This
is
is a
much more than, yeah.
this is another great question. He's asking, BJP is the richest party now. Can't they buy up those communists for sale and use them to build narratives?
Well, the BJP is busy using its funds somewhere else. Aren't you aware of that?
Mm,
Aren't you aware of the expenses that go into leading a political party?
okay.
The
Nandish Hegde, I
BJP,
guess. Yeah, yeah. Go on.
the
Where are they
BJP
spending?
can, the BJP can try to buy up these communists for hire, but for the BJP they have a higher rate.
Oh,
They're not so easy to catch, you know. क्योंकि
yeah,
भाई मैटर करता है,
yeah,
इडियोलॉजी थोड़ा बहुत दिखाने के लिए भी मैटर
yeah.
करता है.
That
Today,
same person is.
Joy
Yeah, yeah. Go on.
Goswami? Can you imagine Joy Goswami standing up for BJP? I mean, can you
Hmm.
imagine Subodh Sarkar standing up for BJP? Not to
Yeah,
mention the fact that he has been constantly leaking the choti for the last 10 years.
I see.
Okay.
The same person is asking, making another interesting point. He's saying that BJP doesn't protect its cadres here or anywhere. They'll use only the face of the dead person for the politics after the person is dead.
That all political parties do.
Yeah.
And I disagree with this person's statement that
Okay.
the BJP does not protect its cadres. You
Okay.
come to Assam and see
Hmm.
when there are such incidents happening when somebody abuses Narendra Modi or Sri Ram
Hmm.
on Facebook or that sort of thing that happens.
What do
You
you
know,
think is the situation of BJP supporters or the party cadre in Tripura? Because I went on a podcast a few days back on a nationalistic Tripura-based channel, and even there the anchor had to hide his face. He was also wearing a mask during the interview.
see, the socialist communist cabal has infiltrated almost every strata
Yeah,
of
of course.
the social apparatus we live in, and it
Yeah.
has infiltrated the BJP as well.
Hmm.
And it has infiltrated the BJP as well.
Hmm.
They know the art of camouflage very very well. They can hide themselves and call themselves BJP workers while at the
Hmm.
same time working to destabilize the party from within.
Hmm.
Now it is the issue. Now the point is that the BJP should take stock of its situation and walk out of its senility and find out who the real workers are.
Hmm.
Okay, and instead of going for quantity, should go for quality. They should learn from Pawan Kalyan. They should
Hmm.
learn from Pawan Kalyan.
Hmm. That same person is asking another question. This is, I guess, is directly addressed to you. What are the aims and goals of this East Bengal Indian Association?
Oh, the East Bengal India Association is to remind everybody it has only one aim.
Hmm.
It is it has been created in order to remind all the people of Purba Bongo, as in East Bengal, that before Bangladesh, before East Pakistan, this place was known as East Bengal. Since we are talking about historicity and historical wrongs and the correction of historical wrongs, you know, should please also talk about this and talk about how this blatant injustice towards the Bengali Hindus of East Bengal has been perpetrated by Nehru and his family in collaboration with others. And Nehru is completely responsible for it. Nobody else is responsible for it. Nehru is the only person I will blame for this, because of the fact that he got the premiership of the country on a platter, served to him on a platter.
Yeah.
And he had this zamindar thing going on. Ha de do.
Yeah.
Let them take it away.
Yeah.
So it was his plan, along with certain leaders of the Congress again in Assam, to keep the Bengalis in a stateless. And you will notice something, that where the political extremism against the British flared up first time after the First World War, the two frontiers, Bengal and Punjab, these were the two frontiers where the sword of partition fell very quickly, very swiftly, and severed the backs of both these two, regional spaces.
Yeah.
In Bengal, it is this CA, NRC, or whatever shit that is going on. Bangladeshi, this deshi, that deshi. And in Punjab, you have the Khalistan, Pakistan, India, Hindustan thing going on. It's all a strategy to keep basically aiming towards the balkanization of India. If Bengal is lost, if this part of the country is lost, then the rest of India will also fall. If Punjab is lost, then the rest of the country will also fall.
Why?
Well, think in terms of geography. If the Punjab is lost, then what is left of India's northern, fortresses? What is left?
If Bengal is lost, doesn't the border then in that hypothetical future become more protectable? If it's Bihar Bangladesh border.
No. I mean, look, if you have heard about the Geneva settlement in Bangladesh, the Bihari Muslims who went there during the Bangladesh thing.
Yeah.
So you realize that the borders between Bengal and Bangladesh aren't the only porous borders. There's borders through which Bihari infiltration also happens. It's not just the Bengalis. From the Bangladesh itself, the people coming in from Bangladesh aren't only Bengalis. There's Chakmas, there's Khasis, there's Bengalis, there's Rohingyas.
But the geography won't be a problem, right?
Well, of course it will be a problem. You'll have a bigger chicken's neck between once the Punjab falls, if the Punjab falls, or if the Bengal falls, or if Bengal falls, which means the whole of the Northeast falls, India is open to Chinese aggression. And if Punjab falls, it is open to Pakistan and the rest of the OIC aggression. So all these so-called religious, all these so-called linguistic units, linguistic outfits, linguistic political outfits that are speaking about it, are basically aiming towards the balkanization of India. Because unless that happens, Europe or America cannot embark on the second round of imperialism that they're preparing for.
Yeah,
they are preparing for the recent elections of the European Union will tell you that they are preparing for a new age of imperialism. India is the last bastion.
Here is a kind of a funny comment, I guess. He's saying all of East and Northeast India should be merged into one state.
I agree. I thoroughly agree. It was like that actually.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Hmm.
Shiliguri was not part of Bengal. Neither was Darjeeling. They were
Hmm.
all parts of this of NEFA, Northeast Frontier Association,
Okay.
since the 60s, and then Nehru began the linguistic reorganization of states.
Hmm.
Old fogey
Yeah.
that he was,
Yeah.
and then all the shit hit the fan, and he couldn't manage it. He died of whatever God knows.
Hmm.
His daughter was equally inadequate.
Yeah.
I don't know why people are so gaga over her.
Because she
Uh,
said good things about Savarkar. That's why.
oh, come on.
And she let go 30,000 Pakistani soldiers after arresting them. I guess in the
Yeah.
history of religions that has never happened. That 30,000
So
of
she was an idiot,
hmm,
a pampered child, and
okay,
she's the one who started India on her. I mean, well, there's no saying started India on her path of decline, but she's the one who made a mess out of it all.
hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Sorry, yeah, bhai. I said 30,000 by mistake. It's 93,000. Yeah, I completely
90,000.
forgot. Yeah, yeah. Okay, we have an interesting counter to your views from the beginning of this podcast. Aritra Bhattacharya is saying, okay, so Bengalis are to be blamed for not integrating with the quote-unquote natives of Assam, but in Bengal, we are also blamed for expecting non-Bengalis to integrate and learn the native culture and language.
I didn't get it. What did you say?
So Bengalis are to be blamed for not integrating with the natives of Assam, but in
No,
Bengal,
they're not. No, 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 no. That is not the case. That is,
okay,
I think Mr. Bhattacharya has misunderstood my intent behind the comment.
okay,
My comment in this to this effect was entirely pro-nationalist,
hmm,
thinking. Since you're so fond of Rabindranath, think
hmm,
of how Rabindranath used to think about Bharat Tirtha as the whole of India
yeah,
as a spot of pilgrimage.
yeah,
Instead of thinking of yourself as a Bengali
hmm,
and expecting everybody to, look at you with favor, try
hmm,
to behave like an Indian. Be responsible. And
hmm,
don't make sheer comments about how well I have seen this in Kolkata as well. I mean, Kolkata is as racist as
yeah,
as hell.
yeah.
I know how to speak Sylheti.
Hmm.
Since we live in Assam and we don't get a lot of opportunity to speak in the Shantipuri dialect, as in
Hmm.
Promito Bangla. Therefore,
Acha.
this was around 10 to 15 years back.
Hmm.
In one of the uh, you know jewelry shops beneath the Grand Hotel where I was visiting with my mom.
Hmm.
She was talking with me about a statue that she wanted to buy, and
Hmm.
I was talking with her. We were exchanging comments in the Sylheti language, and
Hmm.
then the person just comes up straight to us and asks us if we are from Bangladesh.
I see. Okay. Did he
So
mean
there's
mean that in
racism
a well-intentioned way that oh apni
in a
Bangladesh থেকে
condescending,
এসেছেন আনন্দের
no,
কথা?
no, in a condescending manner,
I
obviously.
see. Right. Yeah, and Kolkata Bengalis are not just racist in the linguistic sense. Also, I have been getting into fist fights up until class 7 for my dark skin as well with fair-skinned Bengalis
Oh
forever.
yes, this is there. This is there, very much there. This
Yeah.
I've seen in my own family as well.
Hmm.
My jechima, as in my uncle's wife,
Hmm.
is very fair skinned, and
Hmm.
everybody was like so fond of her because when she dressed and stepped out, and everybody was like going gaga over her, whereas everybody
Yeah.
else who was dark was
Hmm.
treated in a. I mean,
Hmm.
this is something that is not right. The
Do
world
you know
is.
of any other ethnicity in India who names their kids Shaheb or Sahab like that? How the fuck can someone do that? I know people who have named their daughters Elizabeth, and Shaheb is a pretty common Bengali name. If you're fair skinned, you get named Shaheb. Even in elite Bengali Brahmin families, how can you
Oh
name
yeah,
your son
yeah.
Shaheb?
I
How?
This is there.
Fuck.
This is there. I mean, this is a colonial hangover of the
Yeah,
Kolkata elite kowtowing to the. You remember that scene from Bhuter Bhovishyot,
yeah, yeah.
where
Darpanarayan.
Darpanarayan is meeting this
Yeah, yeah.
what Sahib,
I
and
your humble
I
servant.
your
Yeah,
humble servant Darpanarayan Chaudhuri sir. I Darpo. Oh Darpok. You remember the scene?
Yeah, yeah,
That sort of sums up, Kolkata to a great
yeah,
extent. And Kolkata, well, there's this other thing. There was nothing called Kolkata before the British came.
yeah.
The center of Bengali culture, so as to speak of, was basically Shantipur and Nodia.
Hmm. Right.
Kolkata did not exist.
Yeah.
It started out basically as a set of hovels serving as
Yeah,
brothels
yeah.
and,
Okay.
military quarter houses
I
for
see.
Job Charnock and his associates and successors.
Right.
Didn't
Okay.
exist.
We have another question from Tripura. Can you ask the professor that do you think, Professor, we should have a separate state which would consist of Barak Valley of Assam and Bengali dominated parts of Tripura?
Well, that would certainly solve the problem. But then again, there would be other issues raised because you have this already. Nehru's given birth to the Hydra, and you cannot get rid of the Hydra's heads all at one time. You know,
Hmm.
you
Okay.
crop one head, the other head will crop up. So a
Hmm.
cohesive
I see.
solution is necessary, and I don't think the BJP government at the center right now has the guts to do it.
Okay. We have an interesting question here. Why Congress didn't support the Bangabhumi separatist movement?
Well, political maneuvering again.
Hmm. Okay.
Uh, they wouldn't want Bengal to be, strong. They never wanted. I mean, they never wanted Delhi to get out of Bengal. And if the Bangabhumi, movement was successful,
Hmm.
had been supported by the Congress, then they would have to do a lot of other things which they would not want to do. For example,
Okay.
they would have to support the Assamese separation movement as well,
I see.
which they secretly did to a great extent, paying off the alpha and
Right. Hmm.
yeah.
Okay. Another audience member is asking, did we miss out on a chance to annex Bangladesh in 1971?
Yes, we certainly did. We should have done it,
Hmm.
and kept it at that.
Hmm.
The things would be a lot easier now. Then
Hmm.
things would have
Okay.
been a lot easier.
Okay, Aritra Bhattacharya is saying, I don't mean to taunt non-Bengalis, by the way. It's Bengali, quote-unquote, right-wing who are more problematic and extremely self-loathing.
No, I think Mr. Bhattacharya is wrong there.
Okay.
It is there is nothing called the right wing in Bengal. There is nothing called the right wing in Bengal.
Yeah, he
If he
means
identified,
yeah, he means
what
us, of course, the nationalists
he
and
means, us who,
you and me,
why?
people who dislike communists, leftists, and we
No,
think
no,
that
no. But
Hinduism needs to be saved
how does that translate to self-loathing?
because we are criticizing Bengalis for creating problems in Assam, whereas we are
No, no, no,
saying
no.
that
I'm not criticizing Bengalis for. I'm not blaming Bengalis. As a
okay,
Bengali, it is my right to speak on what my community is doing wrong and what my community is doing right.
okay,
I'm immensely proud of my Bengali roots. I never
hmm,
studied the Bengali language because, as I said, I studied in a convent school, and
hmm,
we were not allowed to speak Bengali, read Bengali, write Bengali.
hmm,
I was literally thrown out of school for drawing an image of Ma Kali behind my physics notebook.
hmm,
I see
right,
what is wrong with Bengal. I see what is wrong with Bengalis,
hmm,
which is why I'm speaking, and I will speak. It is not self-loathing. It is called self-awareness.
hmm. Okay, Nandish Hegde is asking, where did all the ex-royals or rich elites go after independence?
Oh, see, the point is that there were no royals in Bengal when the partition happened.
Okay,
Okay, like Jaipur, like Rajasthan, like Gujarat, like
hmm,
Uttar Pradesh,
hmm,
Madhya Pradesh,
yeah,
Bihar. There weren't any royals in Bengal, and all the royals who did exist in Bengal at that point of time were all Musliman. They wanted a separate state. Nawab Salimullah
oh,
Khan of
right,
Dhaka.
right, right,
He was one of the founders of the Muslim League.
yeah, yeah,
Sodawardi, one of the descendants of he was a descendant of the of a Nawab family from, I think, Narayanganj or somewhere else. I think Sodawardi. Now, Sodavarti basically wanted to take Bengal and
Yeah, yeah.
all
Kolkata,
about.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, till Howrah.
yeah. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm glad you brought up Nawab Salimullah Khan. I've always wondered about this because J. Sai Deepak's second book, India, Bharat, Pakistan, extensively talks about West Bengal, if you've read it.
Yeah.
So there he quotes countless articles, essays, open letters by Syed Amir Ali and Salimullah Khan. So
Hmm.
what I was flabbergasted by is by seeing that what a grasp on the English language, what fantastic writing, what nuance, and how crystal clear their thinking is. I think in English literature classes, their letters should be taught. They are saying that we have no problems with our Hindu brothers. It's just that we need to protect Muslims, and you are the majority.
Okay.
You all can fuck us anytime. So we will require a separate state, and before that, we will require separate electorates. How do you think their clarity of thinking, and in even then the clarity of thinking usually comes from being in a homogeneous group, but even then they have such grasp on the English language as well and still
That is
have that
because
clarity?
sorry for cutting in. That is
Yeah,
because
yeah.
all of them were part of an extended conspiracy of
I see.
partitioning of the balkanization of the
Hmm.
Southeast Asian of South Asia as a whole.
Hmm.
Just like the Congress was an extension of the British Empire's, uh, you know, uh, m- maneuvers to keep the Commonwealth alive,
Hmm.
the Congress was. The Muslim League also was another arm.
Hmm.
People might think that it's a conspiracy theory, etc. But there's proof. I mean,
Okay.
if the partition of India actually happened only after 1942,
Hmm.
I mean, the thoughts about the partition of India happened only after 1942. Why
Hmm.
does the India office in London have letters that speak of the partition of India and letters that are dated 1921, 1922?
Hmm.
Letters
Hmm.
sent by well-meaning, English gentlemen to people, well-meaning Indian gentlemen like Motilal Nehru.
Hmm. So here we have we have a question for you directly. Why is AU, I guess he means Assam University, a hub of pro-communist academia, whereas Southern Assam has been a fertile ground for right-wing groups like RSS, VHP, etc.
What is he saying? Why is
Assam University a hub of pro-communist people, whereas Southern Assam has been a fertile ground for right-wing groups like RSS, VHP, etc.
Oh, no. Assam University is basically a den of Naxalites.
Yeah, why is that if it's different in the other regions of Assam? So that's
Well,
his question.
because of the communists for hire thing, and this particular no, I'll not speak about that because
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would go to an extent of
Okay.
revealing
Right, right.
a lot of things that I don't want to be revealed. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
point is that this has been it has been actively
Hmm.
the people who have been at the helm of affairs, the people who have uh, you know uh, led the university over the
Hmm.
last 10 to 15 years have actively
Hmm.
promoted this anti-national stance, this communist
Hmm.
stance,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
gone
yeah.
on
Go
for
on.
a long period of time. It's
Hmm.
still going on.
Okay.
And who says that it's a hub of pro-communist activity? It's not a hub of pro-communist activity. Go there.
You
It's
said
it's
Naxal,
basically
so
hidden. It's a hideout for Naxals.
right. I guess that's what he means by communist.
No, I think then he should rephrase his commentary.
Okay.
A hideout for a safe
I
space
see.
for people to pro-communist people to, because well, it's out of attention.
Hmm.
It's out
Okay.
of attention. You see, Nirajan. It's all a staged
Hmm.
thing.
I see.
Keep this in chaos. Let the chaos blubber, and while
Hmm.
the chaos blubbers, you hide beneath the depths
Yeah.
and do the work there.
Hmm. Okay, we have one. This will be the second last question for you today. Okay, but before that, let
Okay.
me just answer something to an audience member myself. Winnie the Pooh is a Bengali pride guy. Let me just answer this to him because no one understands economics in Bengal. So he's saying Awadhi, Bhojpuri are also distinct languages which are treated as inferior to Hindi in Hindi belt. See, Winnie the Pooh, everything will be treated inferior if it is done by poor people. As simple as that. Okay, be rich as fuck and go around speaking in Bengali everywhere. Let's see who disrespects you. Okay, understand economics and
Exactly.
discuss this.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. This, I'm sorry for cutting in.
Yeah.
Acharya Prafulla Chandra Rai, he wanted Bengalis to go into business.
Yeah.
Name one successful businessman after Subrata Rai.
Yeah. Abhishek
Or before
Banerjee.
him. Right.
Yeah. So
Leaps
Nandish
and
Agre is
bounds.
saying, yeah, the conspiracy is that most people. This is a comment from a viewer. Okay, the conspiracy is that most people who were in power post independence were a part of Fabian socialist society in London back in the day.
Yes, Nehru has admitted to being a Fabian socialist.
Yeah.
So has Jinnah.
Right.
And all their girlfriends, all the girlfriends who trumped in and out of Anand Bhavan.
I see.
I mean, there are lots of histories that have not been spoken about. I think somebody should ask Romila Thapar to do a book on them. You know, people are fond of talking about Thakurbari Randor Mahal, the women and the families of the Tagore family. They should do one on the Gandhi family, not the Gandhi family, basically the Nehru family. There's nothing Gandhi about them anyway.
Yeah. So, Professor, last question for you. What comes to your mind when you think of West Bengal? What emotions do you have for West Bengal today?
Oh, I'm very saddened because West Bengal, after all, is a Bengali Hindu homeland. That's what Shama Prasad Mukherjee imagined it as.
Yeah.
And to see Bengalis reduced to a pathetic state of seg, the word is seg or segu or whatever you call it, segue.
Yeah.
You know, becoming becoming almost inert. You know, and staying true to only their convictions. That saddens me a lot. One. The second thing that really saddens me is how, the fertile society of Bengal, the society that has produced such innumerable talents over the last 200 years, is now producing people like, what's her name? Condom Ghosh. The lady who put on a condom on the Shivalinga. And people like Srijato and this and that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's sad. It is very sad.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. Thanks a lot for giving about 2 hours to this conversation.
So it was very interesting. I mean,
it was very interesting.
I really wanted it to be very spontaneous, and thank you for leading me. I have this habit of, wandering off my course sometimes. It's a professional hazard, I think. But you did a wonderful job as an interviewer. So kudos to you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
And I think may your channel prosper. I'll pray to the Almighty so that they see that it happens like that. Best wishes. And to all my audience, I'm sorry if I've offended anyone. Sorry, but not so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor. Good night.
Good
night, guys. See you tomorrow.
श्रवरूढं महाभीमं गुणाद्रंष्टाङ्गरप्रदम् हस्य युक्तं त्रिनेत्रं च कपालकर्णिकाकराम् मुक्तकेशीं ललज्जयं पिबन्तीं रुधिरं चतुर्बाहु समायुक्तं वराभयकरं स्मरेत् चतुर्बाहु समायुक्तं वराभयकरं स्मरेत् काली काली महाकाली